Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm Yassi Moghadam. I'm the Executive Director of ISSIP, and this is the first quarter 2016 Board of Directors meeting. And we have a packed agenda. Haluk will go through the events. We've had several good events, and he'll give an overview of that. Also about the ISSIP badging program that just got kick-started. I will go through and talk about some of what we are doing for Discovery Summits this year. If Ralph joins us, Ralph will cover what books and publications have been created and what is in plan, as well as there is the VBML project, which is a standardization effort that Ralph and Haluk have been undertaking. And then Heather Yorko from Cisco will go over the SIG update. And we have some other SIG leaders here, SIG chairs, who can answer questions at the end of the call. And then I'll go through a quick chapter update and, as usual, operational updates. And then we'll open it up to discussions. We'll try to leave a good amount of time for discussions at the end. So, Haluk, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Yassi. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. As Yassi mentioned, next couple of minutes I will talk about what we were able to accomplish with collaborating some of the other organizations. As you know, ISSIP is being a kind of umbrella organization. We collaborate different disciplines and different professional and academic organizations to participate in some of those conferences. So these are some of the ones we have accomplished in first quarter of 2016. So as an ISSIP, we were sponsored and we also participated and led a couple of sessions at the Hawaiian International Conference on System Sciences at Hawaii in January of 2016. And then a number of us also led and attended a T-Summit in 2016 in March in Washington, D.C. And then so far we had basically one innovation roundtable, and the guest speakers was P.K. Agrawal, CEO of the Silicon Valley Northeastern University. And then we basically also worked on some of the basically we are working on a session on ISSIP badging program, and also NSF funded workshop is underway. So can we go to the next slide, Yassi?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
And then so these are some of the planned events. For example, next July of 2731, basically one of our ISSIP advisors, Lou, is leading a number of sessions at the 7th International Conference on the Human Side of Service Engineering in Orlando, and then a number of us also working to have sessions at HICS 50 for January of 2017, and then 2 Discovery Summits are planned for this rest of the year, and we also have a speaker series. It's the ongoing speaker series right now. And so this is a brief picture. We wanted to kind of highlight all the different speaker series we have as kind of under the umbrella of ISSIP. So the first one, what we call, is a Service Innovation Monthly Roundtables. The second one is this Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. ISSIP Service Innovation Weekly Speaker Series. And then there's a Community of Interest presentation on service economics. That happens basically some of the Fridays, bi-weekly. And then we have also Community of Interest Cognitive Science Institute speaker series happens on Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. And then we also have some evangelist presentations. So we kind of packaged all these different speaker series under this URL, Learning Center 26022. And then so you can have the links and information about all these speaker series, how to listen or participate or present, and also past presentations. And then for 2016, we are hoping to have 6 roundtables and about 30 more speakers presentations on Wednesday mornings, and post all these presentations in our knowledge repository. So this is still me, Yasi? Is that?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So this is also something, a project we have been talking about for a while, and a few weeks ago we had a kind of kickoff meeting in which we will invite more people to participate in this program. So basically we wanted to design a badging program to better attract, recognize, and progress ISSIP members and provide value to employers and badge earners. So we basically looking at some of the open badge standards from Mozilla, and these badging programs so far have been already being used by IBM, Cisco, Microsoft, and a number of different companies. So the idea is basically we came up 5 different badging criteria called Explorer, Advocate, Innovator, Certified, and Excellence, and working with some experts from various companies to design this program. So we are hoping to provide information what we have so far, and like I said, invite more people who would like to participate design of this program. And you can also let us know if any comments or questions or feedback or your involvement. We will welcome anybody to join this development of this program. And Yasi, would you like to add anything on this?
Yes. So Haluk, thank you so much. Haluk actually led a group of us on this, and also another colleague from IBM really contributed to this, David Leeser, who is a program manager for this effort at IBM, so got a lot of guidance from him as well. And the idea of this badging program, being a professional association, we want to have our members basically get recognized. Our mission is to promote service innovation and service innovators. And this is really one way that we think in a visible fashion, with understanding of a common vocabulary, we could do this. So the categories and the criteria, we actually took a crack at defining that, and there's a document right now that's work in progress that will soon be updated to, after an initial review, will be posted on the website or a wiki, and everyone can have an input into that.
Okay.
So, yeah, thanks, Haluk, for covering that. I'll just say a couple of words about the discovery summits that are being planned. We are currently planning 2 discovery summits. One is being co-developed with IBM and Cisco, and we are planning that with Consortium for Service Innovation with Greg Uxton, who is the executive director of that organization. And we did a discovery last year on basically data science meets customer experience. That was the topic, and this is a continuation of that. And the goal of this discovery summit, these series of discovery summits, are to really say what skills would a data scientist of the 21st century needs to have. And this discovery summit that we are planning in October, early November, is really looking at the applications of cognitive computing skills for predictive customer engagement. And then the second one is we're working with a number of institutions, both our, IBM and Cisco, and several universities on a discovery summit whose goal would be to define an agenda for how we close the gap between education and employment from an industry perspective. So a lot of newer areas of skills development really, a lot of the knowledge really resides in the industry, and so this is a good complement to the T-Summit, which that's looking at it from an educational institutional, leading edge educational institutions, and this one would be a complement led by the industry, and so a very good feed into the annual T-Summit. And we haven't finalized the date or location for our first Discovery Summit. The location is going to be at San Jose State University, a very nice location that Professor Stephen Kwan has made available to ISSIP, and we're looking at late October, early November. So I don't know if Ralph is on the call. Perhaps not. Haluk, would you like to say a few words about that? About this?
Sure. Sure. Thanks, Yassi.
Sure.
So, as we all know, as a non-professional organization, being ISSIP, basically, we want to be able to create an environment for people to, knowledge development and also knowledge dissemination. So that's why we call it knowledge co-creation and dissemination through publications. And one of these publication series is, this is a book series Jim and I started almost 5 years ago. Wow. So this is a book series we started with the Business Expert Press, and so far 15 booklets have been published, and usually 3 to 5 books published each year, and we have an open call for proposals, and the readers of these are mostly professionals, and the idea is basically develop a booklet about 50 to 70 pages length, and goes to basically educate mostly the professionals about service innovation, and basically we welcome anyone who has some ideas and have time to author a book. So that's the kind of, like I said, most of the readers are professionals, executive development and graduate programs in business schools, and please let me or Jim know directly if you have any questions and comments. And then one of the other things is also, we just started, is we thought we have this annual T-Summits, so we decided to also have a book each year published about kind of after T-Summit booklet. So anybody who have interest and experience and knowledge on T-shape kind of talent development, you are welcome to send us also chapter to include in this T-Summit booklet. So Yassi, I know you are also one of the co-editors of the T-Summit 2016 book. So would you like to add anything?
Sure. So thanks. Yeah, the picture on the left is really more of a announcement of the T-Summit 2016 and our goal for really developing a book after each T-Summit. And we do have a call for chapters on the ISSIP blog site. So and it'll come through the newsletter. So we're actually inviting all the participants, all the speakers at the T-Summit to send a proposal for a chapter, and anyone else who is who's done work in this area. And in general, we're trying to do a better job of turning our major events into a collection of books and white papers that the members can benefit from it. So it's still work in progress, but striving to do better. So hello. Oops, sorry.
Oh, I think Ralph is also on the call. If you would like to continue.
Hold on a second. I pushed something that. Are you guys able to see my screen still?
Yes, Yasi.
Okay, I'm not able to see my screen.
We are at the slide number 9. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I did. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay, Ralph, would you like to say a few words here? I see you're on, if I'm not putting you on spot.
About publications?
Yes.
Oh, well, ISSIP has the opportunity to do quite a few different kinds of publications, from white papers to journal publications and presentations and so on. And one of the things that we're going to do this year is formalize our policies for copyright. We're getting to the point with our website that some issues are coming up about trademarks and copyrights, and so we're going to prepare some documentation and put it on the website that will formalize our procedures and set some standards for all of those issues. For now, it's been pretty loose, you might say, in the way we've been receiving publications and promoting publications.
Okay. Thanks, Ralph. And then, in addition to that, what some of our members have accomplished in the areas of peer-reviewed papers and white papers, HICS 2015 panel report has been accepted by Communication of AIS. Our lead author, Christoph Peters, did a great job of pulling everything together, and many on this call actually contributed to reviewing it. I know Ralph and Haluk and several others who are not on this call contributed to editing it, and so that will soon be out. Another white paper that has been developed by the Service Innovation, by Service Design SIG, has been accepted at ServDesk 2016 and will be presented on May 26th. And I saw Don on the call. Don Allen co-chairs that SIG with Daniela and Georgie. I don't know, Don, if you would like to say a couple of words.
Okay. So this paper describes the development of this tool of inquiry around service design. We have run through a pilot with that tool using an organization within Cisco, and have done some subsequent revisions. We're publishing those results as well as the tool, and we're now searching out additional companies looking at how to apply the tool in kind of different ways, larger company, smaller company, that kind of thing. So we're continuing to move it forward and refine how we're using it.
Thank you, Don. And then Service Innovation Framework SIG is looking at possibility of publication of the Service Innovation Framework 1.0. and the service innovation block that has been developed over blocks that have been developed over the last year or over the 2015-2016. And then another white paper that we are targeting to present at HICS 2017 is a survey on the mean T-shape. So this is something Jeff Saperstein and Hunter Hastings have an idea on, basically surveying the entire community and coming up with terms, alternative terms or complementary terms, or looking at the at the T-shape as a mean. So that's work in progress. And of course, for HICS 2017, we're also planning what we did for similar to what we did in HICS 2015, which going into it, everyone did a really great job of providing abstracts of their talk, which we were then able to pull into a white paper afterwards. So we're going to take a similar tack to that. Okay, Ralph, I'll turn it back over to you to say a few words about the VBML project.
Okay, VBDML is the Value Delivery Modeling Language, sponsored and supported by the Object Management Group. The idea for this project got started about a year ago because we all recognize that one of the value-adding activities for ISSIP would be standard setting and either maintaining and sponsoring a standard, or at least taking part in the establishment and maintenance of standards related to service. So we're trying to work our way into that space. We're not big enough and we're not well recognized enough to actually sponsor a standard such as the ones IEEE sponsors. But we thought as a start we could get involved in commenting on a standard and perhaps being part of maintaining that standard over time. So we picked VBML. VBML is a new modeling language. It's only been released for a little over a year now by the Object Management Group, and it's right up our alley. It's all about modeling service systems, in particular modeling collaborations and how value co-creation is done. So it's a very interesting language. What we did as a project is we had Haluk use one of his MBA classes in service design as a platform to try out VBML. And through the experience of the students who were modeling real service systems, we could find out what aspects of VBML work well and what we would like to suggest changing. So we've done that. I developed a sequence of video tutorials that Haluk used for his class. His students viewed the tutorials, learned how to use VBML. He had his class do a bunch of projects modeling real service systems. They did a really nice job. And as part of the project, they had to write a commentary about VBML and how it worked and what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. So we've done all of that. We've gotten their comments, their feedback. And in the next month, Haluk and I will summarize those comments and provide some feedback to Object Management Group as a commentary on VBML. And then hopefully this will get our foot in the door, get ISSIP's foot in the door in the standard setting space.
Thank you so much, Ralph. Yeah, I want to really acknowledge Ralph for driving this, because we've been you know, since ISSIP's inception, have been saying that this is a very important work for ISSIP to influence standards, and Ralph is trailblazing, showing us really how to do this. So this is really great. Okay, I'll turn it over to Heather. So Heather, if you could please take it, Tim.
Absolutely. No, thanks so much, Yossi. So over the next few minutes, I'll go through, excuse me, some brief updates from our service interest groups, our special interest groups. So from our first one on SDN, this group has been around for just about 2 years, a little over 2 years. We have 10 members, which is a combined group of both scholars and practitioners across multiple industries. Moving forward into 2016, the main focus of this group is really to continue to extend their visibility outside of Cisco and as well as inside, looking at presenting at one of our sponsored conferences and continuing to grow. So they're focusing mainly on software-defined networking and NFV services, and they're looking at how the impact of SDN, the knowledge base can really start to be spread beyond the special interest group and bring in additional folks from the outside. They're looking to support additional research as well as investigate and strengthen the relationship between academia and industry. And so their next call is going to be coming up in June. They're also actively looking for submissions for the ISC3P as well as some additional conferences, again, which aligns to their goals of starting to extend their visibility. Moving on to our education and research SIG. This is I believe, our oldest SIG. We've been around since October of 2012. It's also our largest. And Luke has just done an amazing job here in extending this speaker series. We're on week 121 in really presenting out information to our larger community. They've published newsletter articles, had multiple presentations. They really are driving information sharing and as well as gathering across ISSIP. For 2016, looking to get at least one paper and at least 2 sessions sponsored by ISSIP at various conferences, continuing to grow our online community as well as publish the presentations that have been done. And many things that Yossi talked about earlier in presentation today are directly related and coming from this particular SIG. Next is our service design SIG, which was formerly known as our user experience SIG. This group launched very closely to the same time as our education SIG, so since November 2012. Again, good combination of folks across both academia and industry. Some of the major goals looking forward into 2016 are presenting white papers, designing an SDL checklist, which is really meant to be put out for testing on ISSIP.org, so to have people kind of go through it, confirm it. They also want to submit an industry-friendly version of a white paper to one of the industry publications, so there's additional work that's happening there. As far as additional interconnects that they have coming up, they have ServDev in the end of this month, as well as a training network that's coming up, which has a PhD student coming in and joining that particular group. Short term, beyond that, they also have design and test of additional workshop activities coming up within the next few months. And then finally, the Service Innovation Framework. This group was launched in April 2014, so again, also about 2 years old. There are 41 members, again, across academia and industry. Moving into 2016, we are publishing the ISSIP Service Innovation Framework, so there's additional work that's happening there, as well as getting some practitioners to partner with this particular SIG in testing out and verifying, validating, providing additional feedback on the framework. Looking at publication of a T-Summit playbook. So this was the special interest group that was co-managing the T-Summit along with UIDP. We're also looking to expand the charter of the SIG and also, as well as doing a bifurcation of this group into the digital transformation group. So there's been a lot of great activity that's come out, and they're looking to continue to expand the work that they're getting done. Also prepping, as Yossi mentioned before, for HICS 50 as well as T-Summit for 2017. Immediately in the next quarter, we're partnering with additional practitioners in order to get some of this new testing done, as well as looking to build out a wireframe around the Service Innovation Framework curriculum and starting a potential certification process around this. So there's some initial exploration that's being done there, some partnership with additional organizations that have done these kinds of bodies of work before.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather.
Absolutely.
And I know Casimir, and of course we heard from Don. Casimir and Don, if you would like to add anything.
Well, this is Casimir. I think you summarized that quite well, as a matter of fact. I'm excited about this service innovation framework approach. I had a few things that I had noted on the slide I submitted specifically for the SDN SIG that I think dovetail very nicely with these kind of directions. Once we get to that, I see you're flipping through. There we go. So while I have the floor for a minute, I'll just mention a few things. We're also pushing publications that someone had mentioned earlier, and education as being one of our main goals. We're also trying to get more involved in standards setting. So the SDN SIG has been participating in conferences like Cisco Live, Cisco, of course, being one of our major ISSIP sponsors. I'm also heavily engaged with IBM. They have a strategic relationship with Marist College, where I work. We've published a number of journal articles tying our research into the service industry over the past year. And I've got a presentation coming up at Cisco Live in July of this year to continue that.
As we're to be there.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Heather says they'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be presenting at Cisco Live this year as well, so we should certainly figure out how to get some time together and discuss this further in person.
Absolutely, that would be great. Send me some email and let me know where you're going to be, and we'll set up some time. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, okay, great. So that, yeah, if there's any questions on that, I'd be happy to answer that, but I don't want to derail the conversation too much here.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Casimir. Now, I want to make sure that Don, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I think Heather did a better job than I would have. So.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thanks, Heather, for covering all this things. So, just a quick update on chapters. So, last quarter we kicked off the Swiss chapter. Christoph Heinz from Switzerland has been a member of ISSIP, and over the last couple of years have been really working on how we could formalize something into the Swiss chapter. So his group out of the university he's affiliated with, which my apologies for not remembering that right now, started a center on data service-driven innovation. And it's another way of calling smart services and looking at smart services. And the center, the objectives of the center are threefold: innovation in practice, innovation in education, and then promotion of people who are involved with that. And they have quite a number of members. And then they approached us and said that they wanted this center to be under, to be an ISSIP chapter. So we have formalized that recently, and Christoph and I are going to actually better define what that means and what collaboration is as an ISSIP chapter. But already they have a lot of activities that is local. I'm not going to go through all of these. This is a great opportunity, and one of the things that we have discussed is basically them using some of the ISSIP playbooks. Down the road, there's a possibility of, as we put the T-Summit playbook together, our chapters could use that playbook to hold their own event, the Discovery Summits as well. So that's a great development. We are very happy that Christoph led this, and right now we have the ISSIP Switzerland chapter in addition to Germany and Italy. And an update on the Italy chapter, that one is being co-led by Clara Bassano and Paolo Picciocci from University of Salerno and University of Naples. And they have been in operation for about 3 years now and have been really promoting ISSIP locally. Their focus is on students and really developing T-shape education and promoting T-shape education. So they've been quite active, and again, I'm not going to read line by line, but they've been having events, and then are both events and publications, and really doing a great job of promoting T-shapes there. So going into the ISSIP operations, just an update on our membership growth. So over the last quarter, we have had a pretty healthy growth, about 10%. So now we have passed the 1,000 member mark. So that's a great milestone to pass. So we are at 1,024 as of 2 days ago.
That's a cause for celebration.
Yes. And we're seeing actually membership from more and more representing companies. So, I was looking at the membership list. So I see people from Coca-Cola, Deloitte Consulting, KPMG. And then distribution, actually, what we are seeing is we are getting more students involved. And one of the models is that I'd like to really call on Halok, Professor Demirkan, and I think we need to really replicate that if other professors are would like that. He's been really engaging his students in ISSIP and really promoting this idea that they need to plan their career starting from university. His students are MBAs, and so and really teaching them the value of T-shapes and service innovation. You'll hear more about this, but we're seeing that this is a model that is really working. So thanks, Halok, for that, and others. I'm sure Ralph is doing that, and other professors were doing that. So on the institutional side, of course, JST joined us at the end of last year. We're still working with our companies in the pipeline, especially with Intel, GE, VMware, recently with some people at Google, Samsung, and really with them trying to define what is value for them in joining ISSIP. And one of the things that is emerging, Intel and companies like Intel, they are exploring how they can co-create around servitization with ISSIP members. And especially, Heather mentioned the digital transformation community of interest that is emerging out of the Service Innovation Framework SIG. So we're exploring how possibly Intel can help co-drive that within ISSIP together with Professor Gerhard Gudergen out of Service Innovation Framework SIG. And as always, we're asking the board to help us with that. So I'd like to also, a few people were mentioned, but I would also like to do more of the recognitions. Of course, I think everyone on this call deserves recognition, but I'd like to call out a few people. DJ Christman from Cisco for having done an outstanding job on the program management of the T-Summit, working closely with Jim Sporer and Tony Buckenfuso and the T-Summit committee. He did a phenomenal job, deserves all the accolades. The same thing with Valerie Coriel out of Cisco. She developed the playbook for the T-Summit, and that will soon be available for general viewing. And that was really a great job. I've seen the draft of it, and it is an excellent document and a really valuable one because, as ISSIP grows, we need those playbooks for the ISSIP community to replicate the good work. And of course, Jim Sporer, he continues to be a stellar leader on the T-Summit and on many different fronts in ISSIP. So a special shout out to him. Then Tony Buckenfuso and Susan Sarah Sloan, they were really gracious hosts of T-Summit 2016 at the National Academies, and right now there is discussion about perhaps holding the T-Summits at the National Academies going forward. We'll see whether that could take place, but it was a phenomenal meeting and beautiful venue. Heather Yorko, of course, her leadership on ISSIP at the T-Summit and HICT, both 2016 and 2017, and of course the Service Innovation Framework SIG and all the great work that has been accomplished through the SIG. Gerhard Gudergen also, his contribution to the T-Summit, he held an ISSIP workshop at the T-Summit, which was a great workshop. I attended that, and several other ISSIPers attended that. Then Moira Sherry and Larry Heiner, they are the co-chairs of our content strategy committee, and Moira is our newsletter editor, and Larry puts out a weekly curated series of news, and they've done a phenomenal job on getting the ISSIP news out. And then I'd like to thank Niels Feldman and Christoph Heitz. Niels runs the Germany chapter, and Christoph the Switzerland chapter. Together they held at KSRI, they held a conference in March and presented ISSIP Paper Award to a group of students, and that was really a great way of promoting ISSIP and a great job on the chapter side. And then, of course, Clara Besano and Paolo Picciocci, they renewed their membership of the University of Salerno in ISSIP for 2016, and Stephen Kwan as well for renewing San Jose State membership in ISSIP, and of course sponsoring ISSIP events at a very nice venue all the time. So thanks to all of these and many, many more, but we simply don't have time to go through all of that, everyone. So other operations updates, we have the 2015 annual report out. It will soon be posted on the ISSIP website. It is not there today, but by the end of the week we'll have it posted. And then tax filings are happening. We actually changed formally our calendar year to line up with our fiscal year, and we did that with the IRS, and now we'll have a short year of tax filing from July of 2015 to December of 2015 this year, and then from next year on will be just consistent with the calendar year. And then the financials, I'm going to leave this, not go through all of those line by line, but basically everything is going based on the plan, and we still have receivables coming for this year. This is purely based on all the members today, not considering estimates for potential new members. So that's it for the update. Any questions?
Good update, Yasi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions first from the board, and then if there is no questions from the board or comments, then others who want to ask the board something?
It's Jeff Welser, just a good update. No questions from me.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we'll give it last call. Any questions for the board?
The only question that I have, Yasi, is just to check in with the board to see if there's any additional plans this year to grow a business model and start to bring in additional revenue streams, or are we moving according to plan that we're just taking memberships as they come in?
Well, I'll answer that, and then I'll open it to the board. So we are constantly working on bringing new members. At this point, we have for our operations to happen and for our goals to happen, it doesn't rely on new members. So, but we would like to have other industry members and institutional members join, and we are constantly refining our value propositions. And in fact, the executive committee, as we speak, is going through another iteration of that. So yes, the plan absolutely is to bring in new members. Anyone else?
Yeah, Yasi, I'll add to that. I think, sorry, go ahead. Someone else was about to speak.
Yeah.
No?
Yes, this is Furen Lin.
Actually, Lynn, if you would hold on a second. Sunil, please.
Okay.
Because Sunil was going to answer that.
Okay.
Sunil, go ahead.
Just to add to what Yasi said, I think Heather's a very timely question, and as a board, as Yasi described, we certainly want to continue to add members, and we just crossed a very significant milestone, as was described earlier in the meeting. I think part of what we also want to do is have different various combinations of offers that make sense for different types of companies and institutions. And that's part of what we're looking at, which is to really think about how we can extend our value proposition, particularly looking at this whole T-shaped talent piece, and see how we can resonate with a broader set of constituents as well. That's a work in progress, and we'll come back and report on it as it moves forward.
Excellent. Thanks, Sunil.
Thanks, Sunil. Furen, did you have a question?
Yes, this is Furen. I just want to thank you for me to attend this board meeting. I get updated a lot of information. Continuing the things I learned from T-Summit, and I also wrote a report to share with my colleagues back to Taiwan. But the next step, I'm trying to introduce ISSIP formally to Taiwan, for my university and also for the Society of Service Science in Taiwan. So, any progress way we can really, diffuse ISSIP to people not in the United States? Any package or something I can easily communicate with them?
Well, I can send you a few links. I can send you our brochure that's online, and I can send you an overview presentation that you could use. And yeah, I'll send you those links, and if you need any more information, I'll be happy to provide it to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Any other questions? Got 2 minutes. Okay, your last chance. All right, I want to thank everyone. First, thanks to the board for your time, and everyone else for being here. This completes our first quarter 2016 Board of Directors call. Thanks for joining.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.